Listening Fanfiction presents Meow by Blue Rascal, based off the TV series X-Men Evolution. Read for you by Sears Steinbecker. Chapter 1. The Hat. They looked at it with contempt. The round black top hat was filled to the brim with dozens of folded up bits of paper. On each piece of paper was the name of an animal or type of person, and each teenager was to choose one and act like that for the entire day. They continued to glare at it as it sat there smugly on Kitty's bed. After a few more moments of this behavior, Evan spoke up, a grin on his face. "Come on, you've all promised that if I manage to complete the Danger Room session first, that you do this willingly," he continued to grin evilly.
"Yeah, but how did you manage to beat out Logan's desktop?"
The blue furry mutant that had made himself comfortable on the ceiling asked suspiciously. It was what everyone was thinking. "I am a genius." Everyone burst out laughing. "Good joke." Rogue punched him lightly on the arm. "I guess we have to do this then?" She sighed theatrically and picked up a piece of paper which she squinted at for a moment before groaning. "I can't believe this. Oh, you got diddles!" Gert laughed, still hanging upside down. The goth growled and looked at her piece of paper. "When does the acting start?" "At 10. That gives you all half an hour to get into character. Game finishes at 10 tonight." Everyone stared at Evan for a long moment. "Okay, we need to stop letting him watch the late-night TV shows." Jean shook her perfectly made-up hair and selected a piece of paper before letting out a muffled shriek. "I want to swap!" "No swapping!" Kitty sang and took a piece of paper for herself. "Oh no, let's swap!" "No changing the rules," sighed Scott as he frowned in confusion. Why were they playing a game on their bank holiday Monday rather than doing homework and packing in extra Danger Room sessions? People would never cease to amaze him. "Let's see what I'm supposed to be." I nearly choked when he read it. "This is stupid." "You all promised," Evan cackled. "Did you just cackle?" Rogue asked suspiciously. "No." "It sure sounded like it to me." Let's see what I am." He read the piece of paper, then stuffed it into his pocket. Everyone waited for a long moment. "What? Aren't you gonna go..." "Oh no?" Kitty asked carefully. "No." Gert was looking at his own piece of paper. "Are we supposed to dress up as well?" The telekinetic hit him with a flying brush. "What was that for?" "You're making it worse," Evan intervened. "You're to dress up if you can, and I'm sure everyone can at least improvise." He tapped his pocket. "I hope." This was ridiculous. Jim fumed as she sat in front of her mirror. This was just cruel. Okay, it would have been funny if she had to be a goth or a valley girl. That was her friend's humor. But this, it was... Her hands shaking, she picked up her brush and started to run it through her hair. One last moment of being perfect. Next, she scrubbed her hair and nearly cried at the instant. Jane sighed. She'd have to go and ask Evan for some clothes. Scott pointed his fingers at the mirror, then let his arms drop. Maybe the hair gel was a little too much, and why he had gone for a DA was beyond him. Then there was this ridiculous accent he had to put on, too. It wasn't going to work. He knew it now, and he hated to let down the team. When a brainwave hit him, he knew that Kitty had a DVD of Grease in her room. Perhaps... Yes, half an hour would probably be enough time to analyze what he needed. Nope, still wasn't working. He needed to go. Maybe click his fingers at the same time. Kitty sighed at herself in the mirror. She didn't look at all what she was meant to be. Perhaps she could brush her hair to look like floppy ears and maybe even paint her nose black? She looked in the mirror again and sighed. Black was just not her color, and she somewhat doubted that it was going to make her look any more of her role character than her ordinary clothes. Then again, she had never seen one wearing a pink blouse and jeans. She threw her brush across the room. Oh well, there was one thing she could do very easily. What? Perhaps she'd have to settle for a terrier. There was a long moment of utter silence for Rogue, despite her music pounding its heavy drum beat in the background. The world had gone still. Armageddon had arrived. "Stop being so dramatic," she muttered, then looked at herself in the mirror. Gone was the black makeup and lipstick. Gone was the black clothing. She had been reduced to white long-sleeved top, white jeans, and white trainers. A fluffy white jacket sat on her shoulders. On her head was a fluffy set of rabbit ears. But what made it so much more worse was the big pom-pom on her bum. Nah, I deserve to be dramatic. She wrinkled her nose at the mirror. Squeak! Life wasn't worth living. Evan looked at himself in the mirror and fiddled with a star-shaped badge on his chest. No, life would not be worth living in the near future. Though he was curious to know if he actually suited his clothing. But that would have to wait and see. When Logan got a sight of him, he would be deader than a corpse. The final person in the X Mansion preparing for characterization was Kurt, who was busily flossing his teeth and singing away to a song by the Stray Cats. He had 10 minutes to go and decided it was more than enough for him to get ready. It took him nearly that length of time to dig out the worst possible present he had ever been given, a set of blue 3/4 length shorts that were just a shade lighter than his fur. He left the tops alone. There, he was ready. Well, almost. It took him a few seconds to brush his hair so that it was reasonably fluffy, as did his tail. That done, he looked in the mirror and smiled before joining into the words of the song. Stray cat strut, stray cat strut. He pulled the words out to match the tune and teleported downstairs. The blue furry mutant was sure he was going to win this, hands down.